Welcome to this edition of Shelby This Week. Here are some of the stories we have for you. County officials talk about jail improvements and offer an inside look into the facility. Michigan Attorney General cracks down on robocalls. These new businesses open their doors and are officially welcomed with ribbon cuttings. We have these stories and more on this edition of Shelby This Week. The Macomb County Jail facility is a hot-button topic with county officials. With newly proposed plans for the construction on the current county jail property, elected leaders took us inside the current jail.
There may be a new millage coming to Macomb County residents as soon as this November. The purpose? For a new $371 million jail to replace the current 65-year-old facility.
One, we have an outdated facility. We have an infrastructure that's actually crumbling and falling apart. I mean, we've had issues. We talk about a study from 2005. We have a study from 2015, basically saying the same thing. We have to take this outdated facility and move to something more modern, something more that's energy efficient, that's safety and security, not only for the inmates, but for the staff, and making sure that we can address the needs of the population that's coming in here.
With the high amount of inmates with drug problems and mental health issues, Sheriff Wickersham notes how the current jail is not able to take proper care of these inmates.
We do not have what's called the right bed for the right inmate. You know, where do we put a large amount of people that are going to go through withdrawal and need withdrawal protocol and try and keep an eye on them? We don't have that. We have a medical facility that we're using that's been repurposed. It's not a good facility. We have a mental health facility upstairs using it in the 1954 section. It's not a very good facility.
Better safety and security are promised at the new facility with more direct supervision of inmates as opposed to the current indirect supervision that has led to legal actions.
So what does that do? That puts us in a liability situation. You know, it's unsettling when you sometimes hear stories and people are suing the county because of failure of proper supervision of the inmates, when you see that a jailer is being set up for failure in these particular situations.
The county is planning on proposing a .98 mil tax over 20 years, which will cost residents about $98 a year. And Hackle wants the public to know why it has to be funded this way.
There isn't the budget ability to do that. I can't just work it into the budget. We don't have the bonding capacity to do that. So the question becomes, how do we get this understanding to the public? And that's what we're hoping they understand. This isn't to be soft on crime. It's to deal appropriately with inmates that are coming into our facilities here, that we have to provide for the sheriff, for his people to do their job. And the only way to do that is through a millage.
If this proposal is not on this November's ballot, then it will most likely be voted on in August of next year. For Shelby This Week, I'm Kyle Orzabach.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is cracking down on illegal robocalls. Industry experts say there were 1.2 billion robocalls made to Michigan residents in 2018. So far in 2019, it's estimated residents have received 700 million calls. This effort to shut down these calls is being called Operation Call It Quits. It is part of the Federal Trade Commission's effort to end pre-recorded telemarketing calls. Michigan is one of 25 states cracking down on robocalls. This operation consists of 94 actions, which target operations across the country who are responsible for the variety of calls. Lots of new business happenings this month in Shelby Township. And a great way to welcome them officially to the community is a ribbon cutting hosted by the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce.
On behalf of the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce and Shelby Township, we welcome Apex Chiropractic. We wish you much success. So on the count of three, we're going to cut the ribbon. Everybody help me count. 1, 2, 3.
Chiropractic has changed when it comes to the science that backs up what we're doing, and everything that we do is on the most research-based protocols out there in the chiropractic profession, and we've just tried to kind of concentrate all of that into one practice. We kind of saw a void in that there's not many providers around this area doing this type of work when it comes to structural correction. So we thought, okay, Shelby Township's a great area, we may as well, set up shop in a place that doesn't really have a provider that does this type of work.
I'm a hometown girl, born and raised. Went to Eisenhower High School. This is my town. I wouldn't do it anyplace else. We want to cater to our customers' needs, so we do facials, manis, pedis, hair, but also this is a networking hub. I'm good at networking, connecting people. I want to grow people's business. We can do guest speaking here. The place is large enough. Actually, I have a guest speaking coming up in July, and motivational speaking. I want to help people grow their business. So if they come in and tell me, I do this, I do that, oh wait, I know somebody, or I'm looking for somebody, I usually know somebody and I connect them. So it's helping people grow their business. I'm hiring people that have the passion, the drive like I do, and then just want to make people feel good. Beauty comes from inside, but if you're having a good hair day, everything else is kind of rolling along as well.
1, 2, 3. Okay, don't move.
It's great for Shelby Township. No vacancies here. This is the last vacancy in this new building.
Still ahead on Shelby this week, at one time this dog lived in terrible conditions. Now she is living her best life. The community shows their support for the police department with some ice cream. And teachers won't want to miss this discount at Target. Stay with us for more Shelby This Week.
Mark your calendars, because coming up this August 10th and 11th is the Shelby Township Art Fair. Enjoy the creations of talented artists and craftsmen in the over 100 exhibits nestled in the beautiful Shelby Township Municipal Campus. The Shelby Township Art Fair also features tents from the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center, Shelby Township Fire and Police Departments, food trucks, mural walls, and circus performers, and tours inside the historic Andrews Schoolhouse. Free parking is available, and there's also a free shuttle from the Senior Center. That's the Shelby Township Art Fair, August 10th and 11th on the municipal grounds. Call 586-731-0300 for more details. Or look it up on Facebook at Shelby TWP Parks and Rec. Come and see what makes Shelby Township's Art Fair one of the state's premier art celebrations.
This four-legged friend is now living her best life thanks to this caring family. Here's Stacy Sensatera with more.
Pinkie was nervous and unsure when she first met her new family. And now, 1 year later, Pinkie has settled in with her pack.
And I love you the most.
Pinkie is one of 23 dogs taken from a home in Shelby Township after an anonymous call to the Macomb County Animal Control. The golden doodles and miniature poodles seized from the property were found emaciated and matted while living in horrible conditions.
Pinkie, come here.
See me.
And as word spread about the seizure of these designer dogs, Sandra was thinking about adoption.
Well, my current dog, Tess, had gone deaf, and she'd always wanted to have a playmate, but when she went deaf, I thought, well, it would be nice if she had another set of ears.
And just like that, Tess and Sandra picked Pinkie to become the newest member of their family.
No knowledge of life outside of a cage. So she was very thin, very emaciated, and due to being in a cage, her muscles had atrophied. She didn't actually develop the proper muscles in her hindquarters. So she'd never been up and down steps, she'd never seen grass, she didn't know anything, scared to death.
A scared to death Pinkie meant lots of work for Sandra as she taught Pinkie to quite simply just be a dog.
It's been fascinating to watch her learn how to run. As she's developed muscle, she has become just flies out the gate, jumps the 3 steps, comes out in this yard and just makes circles around the yard. She's so happy.
Pinkie has come so far in 1 year. The unconditional love shared with her family has opened up a whole new world for a dog that lived her former life in a small cage.
I don't think there's a day goes by that we don't look into her eyes, and the love that pours out of these big brown eyes is just unbelievable. And it just warms your heart, because you can't imagine not really being able to fully stand up even in her cage, not knowing what human contact is or nature. One of the first things that I marveled at was her fascination with everything. I mean, she actually watches TV, and when she came outside, it was this time of year, where I've had her just 1 year this month, and the cottonwood was coming down out of the trees, and she would just chase the little fuzzy things around, and it was pretty great. But to imagine her in a cage, she's not been in a cage since.
And Pinkie will never again find herself in a cold cage, lacking the human contact she so desperately craves. I would dare to say that with this family, Pinkie has struck gold.
She's going to be with me forever.
Group lovin's. Group lovin's.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
It's always good to hear a happy ending, and especially for Pinkie, who looks like she is living a great life. This ice cream shop was filled with police and supporters of the Shelby Township Department. Kyle Warsbach takes us to Ashby's Ice Cream.
Oh yeah, we're new, so.
There were some new faces behind the counter at Ashby's Ice Cream last week as these police officers traded out their handcuffs for an ice cream scoop.
I think I've been a little bit too generous with the ice cream, but I think people are pretty much, they're happy with it, so.
All of this was to raise money for the Shelby Township Police Honor Guard, a volunteer organization that goes beyond the line of duty.
Some of the money is actually donated right to families that have lost loved ones. The money helps us to take trips to DC for National Police Week, where we honor our fallen at the National Memorial every year.
This is the third straight year that Ashby's Ice Cream has held this fundraiser. And for the owner, it's about giving back to the job she held for much of her life.
I came from law enforcement. Over at the Sheriff's Department, I worked for almost 30 years. So I support any law enforcement department, especially the ones that do go out to the fallen officers' funerals and things like that. And it's just something that I've done throughout my career.
After only 30 minutes into the fundraiser, the building was already packed with people supporting this initiative. And that support did not go unnoticed.
The transition from the way things used to be, the attitude towards law enforcement, to what it's coming around again is just fantastic. We drive down the street and we get waves now, and people are always saying hi, and people come out to events like this and support us, and it really makes us feel good and helps us do that job that we're here to do, and that's to assist the families of law enforcement officers that have been killed in the line of duty.
If you couldn't make the fundraiser, you can still support the Honor Guard at the Back the Badge 5K on August 16th at Riverbends Park.
So we are so excited for another year, and our run is going to be a 5K distance. We accept runners and walkers, all supporters. If you're interested in signing up, we do have online sign up at www.eastsideracingcompany.com. It's going to be timed by Hanson's Race Management. We're going to have DJ entertainment by Bailey Entertainment. We're going to have post-race snacks, water tables, and a lot of great vendors and support from the community.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Kyle Warsbach.
Macomb Community College hosted the 30th annual Senior Fun Festival, offering free health services to senior citizens. Samana Sheikh talks to a senior citizen who depends on this free health services, helping better his life.
Keeping your body active and staying healthy is important. That's why free health screenings are being done in Macomb County.
Well, we're actually doing a raffle today for $200 off an estate plan.
Every year, Ron McKeever takes advantage of the Senior Fun Festival. He needs to stay up to date with his health. The free screenings let him do this.
I had cancer 22 years ago, so every time something's wrong, I always take care of it right away. I've had my shoulder surgery, I had my knee replaced, and 2/3 of my pancreas removed.
Lung cancer was a huge part of his life. He's now healthier and hasn't smoked in 22 years. Now he suffers from diabetes.
Well, every time something goes wrong, I go see the doctor, see my oncologist every 6 months to a year, just so they can check out, make sure everything's still good. You never know if things come up quickly. If you get a little thing wrong, you should go see a doctor right away.
Ron makes sure to stay up to date with his sugar levels. The health screenings for this event include diabetic glucose checks, ear and stroke screenings, Chiropractors are also on site checking posture. This way, if something small is wrong, you can take care of it right away. The reason Nicole Urban started planning this 6 months ago.
There's still some folks out there without any kind of healthcare coverage, so this is a great way to come in and identify that there might be potentially a problem that they should get followed up on.
This way, everyone leaves knowing what they need to improve.
They might just need 1 or 2 services to help keep them active and independent.
You should always have your blood pressure checked and your sugar and everything.
Other services like massages are being offered here for the health screenings. In Shelby Township, Samana Sheikh reporting.
Summer is here and the township is buzzing with a lot of fun and exciting activities. Coming up on July 13th, the Kids Summer Olympics will be at Whispering Woods Park. The Olympics are open to children ages 3 to 12 years old. From the 40-yard dash to baseball toss, there is a lot of competitive sporting type events to participate in. Prizes are awarded to winners in each age group and ribbons will be given to all children. Depending on the age group, each child will have a check-in time and competition time. For more information, you can call the Parks, Recreation, and Maintenance Department at 586-731-0300. Calling all teachers, Target is giving you a 15% discount on select items throughout the store. Now in its second year, for 1 week, teachers across the country can use this percentage off on school supplies, adult clothing, accessories, pillow, fort furniture, and bullseye playground items. It's really simple for teachers to snag this discount. Target is working with a third-party company, Sheer ID, to verify teacher identifications. This discount is open to K through 12 teachers, daycare workers, early childhood learning centers, homeschool teachers, and parents. To sign up for the coupon, visit target.com/teacherprep. The 15% off can be used in stores and online from July 13th through July 20th. Coming up, declutter your sentimental items with help from this expert. And one doctor advises caution when practicing this diet.
The splash pad at Gene Shepherd Park is your place to have fun in the sun in Shelby Township. Residents of Shelby Township and Utica can bring their children of all ages to the splash pad. Open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Memorial Day through Labor Day, weather permitting. Daily passes are $2, or an annual family pass can be purchased for $25. Adults are free to enter the splash pad, and kids under 12 must be accompanied by an adult. For more information about the splash pad, you can call the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Office at 586-731-0300.
This is the funnest place in the world!
It's an approach to declutter those sentimental items in your life. Arthur Schenk has more.
If you're like many Americans today, you might be interested in or have already embraced the move to declutter your life. But what could make things even more difficult in this process is when you're dealing with someone else's stuff that has suddenly become your responsibility. That's the reason I stopped by the Shelby Township Library to listen to Linda Malotke, who recently spoke about the daunting task of getting rid of clutter in times of transition.
If you have something that's important to you, it might be something little, it might be something insignificant, a rock that your child brought home and put his initials on. That's what you keep. The rest of the stuff doesn't matter. It really
I think
doesn't.
the biggest thing is everybody feels overwhelmed. Truly, I think that's the hardest thing. They want, even for myself, a different set of eyes looking at it and saying, no, that's not worth anything. Or, yeah, why don't you hold on to this, see if it's worth anything. If 6 months from now you put it in a box, don't look at it for 6 months, look at it again, and it's not what you want to keep, then get rid of it.
Even the summer adult program coordinator, Liz Campion, paid special attention to Linda's advice.
Like, I had a kid who was an athlete for a long time, and we have just
boxes. We have about 5 shoe boxes full of medals, and we're at the point where either I'm hoping he moves out at some point, and when he does, he can take those boxes with him, because they don't have deep meaning for me. I know they do for him, so I'm going to have to let him decide what to do, but right now they take up a lot of space. So things like that, I'm kind of thinking about where I could create some more space in my own home.
Staying organized leaves you time to do some of the fun things that you need to do. You know, it's knowing that it's never perfect. It's never going to be perfect.
Though it may not be perfect, you can make things easier through being honest with yourself and following Linda's little tip for handling the task ahead of you.
Take your cell phone, set the timer for 15 minutes, and pick what you're going to do that day. When the timer goes off, you either say to yourself, that wasn't so bad, I can do another 15 minutes, and just keep plugging along like that. It's just amazing. You feel like, oh my gosh, look what I accomplished, and look how much easier my life's going to be, because now I can walk through the garage.
Though your battle with clutter might leave you with a full plate, Linda left me with this bit of advice, which should keep things in perspective when things look overwhelming. How do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. For Shelby This Week, I'm Arthur Schenk.
One popular diet trend is the keto diet. It helps people lose weight fast. Samana Sheikh is in studio right now explaining more about this health craze.
The keto diet. You have probably all have heard of this from family or friends who have tried it. But did you know that the keto diet has several side effects, including headache, fatigue, brain fog, irritability, constipation, and much more? I talked to a local nutritionist and doctor about why this could not be the best option for your health.
I'm not in on Tuesday, but how about Wednesday?
Dr. Joseph Putrico is changing lives.
Okay,
he gives diet
morning,
advice, helping people
July
become
3rd
healthier.
at 10
He
o'clock.
passionately hates the keto diet because
Their body's pH is changing to be more acidic, which is very unhealthy.
this popular diet means eating high protein, no carbohydrates, so your body burns fat for fuel. During this process, your body produces what's called ketone bodies for this to work. They're acidic.
When you have an excess amount of ketone bodies, it changes the pH of your blood. And your blood pH is very, very specific, 7.35 to 7.45. If you vary 1/10 outside of that range, you die.
Potential death, a result no one wants. Keto also leads to other health issues.
When people are eating fat and protein and they're not exercising and they're doing this for prolonged periods of time, what's going to happen is your LDL level cholesterol is going to go up, which is going to throw your total cholesterol higher. It's going to change your A1C, and people can have problems with diabetes and high cholesterol, and then if it's done for the long haul, it could turn into heart disease.
The reason it's a diet, not meant to be a lifestyle. The only time you should consider keto is if you're morbidly obese. Even then, you should be careful.
They have to watch the calorie content. It has to be supervised. pH has to be taken. Physiology has to be checked, meaning blood work. And they have to move. They have to exercise.
It should only be for a maximum of 60 days. The best way to lose weight is exercise and a balanced diet. It takes longer, but it's better for you. You should take a trip to the doctor to find out a healthy nutritional plan that works for you. Make sure you do proper research before you do anything drastic to your health. In Shelby Township, Samana Sheikh reporting.
That's all we have for this edition of Shelby This Week. Remember, you can always watch us online or on Facebook. Just search Shelby TV. We will leave you now with scenes from puppy yoga at Wagon Tails. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.